So we continue reading from Sri Isopanishad. We are on mantra 1. We finished the introduction and the invocation. Now we start with mantra 1 today. Isha vasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bunjita ma grida kasya svidhanam. Everything, animate or inanimate, that is within the universe, is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. So Sri Isopanishad, the first word, mantra is saying everything animate or inanimate. Animate or inanimate means whatever is appearing to be having conscious or something which is not having consciousness that we are seeing and that we are not able to see also in the universe. Who is it owned by? It's owned by the Lord. And because he's the owner of it, he's also the controller of it. Then what shall we do? We need things for our survival. So we should take those things only which are necessary for ourselves, because the Supreme Lord has provided for each and every one of us. So whatever is a quota, we should just take that. Understanding that these things don't belong to me. They are provided to me by the Supreme Lord. Okay. Vedic knowledge is infallible because it comes down through the perfect disciplic succession of spiritual masters, beginning with the Lord himself. So there is no mistake in Vedic knowledge. Why? Because it's spoken originally by Krishna himself, and then he speaks to his devotee speaks to his devotee, speaks to his devotee, like that. So it's coming in the parampara system, disciplic succession. It's called disciplic succession. And so it's perfect knowledge because it's coming from Krishna. So we are hearing the knowledge in the disciplic succession of Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya. Since he spoke the first word of Vedic knowledge, the source of this knowledge is transcendental. The words spoken by the Lord are called apaurushaya, which indicates that they are not delivered by any mundane person. So why is the Vedic knowledge the authority? Why is it authority? Because it's spoken by the Lord, and the Lord is perfect. So his words spoken are perfect. So words spoken by him, that is the Vedic knowledge. And that's called Auparushaya. A living being who lives in the mundane world has 4 defects. So all living entities here in the material world, no matter which body we take, no matter what form we are taking, human being, animal, plant, demigod, we have 4 defects. Why? Because we are in the material body. So he is certain to commit mistakes. For certain. None of us can say, I never committed a mistake. So I said, no, to err is human. He is subject to illusion. What is our illusion? The illusion is that I am the controller, I am the proprietor, I am the enjoyer. That's our illusion. We are thinking that everything that I see belongs to me. Everything that I see is for my enjoyment. Everything that I see, I can control it. That's what we are. That's our illusion. Then he has a propensity to cheat others. Each of us have that potential and that propensity, the inclination to cheat one and another. Each of us have that. And our senses are imperfect. Why our senses are imperfect? We can see that even to see with our eyes, we are not able to see the germs in front of us till the time we bring a microbe. Or even if we hear something, we are so sure, no, this is what it is. But we understand, oh, I misunderstood it. So we can't even depend on our senses for perfect knowledge. No one with these four imperfections can deliver perfect knowledge. The Vedas are not produced by such an imperfect creature. Vedic knowledge was originally imparted by the Lord into the heart of Brahma, the first created living being, and Brahma, in his turn, disseminated this knowledge to his sons and disciples, who have handed it down through history. So, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye, Srimad Bhagavatam begins with that. The Vedanta Sutra aphorism, Janmadi Asya Yatat, and then the first verse itself, it is saying that Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye, that the Supreme Lord, he is the one who imparted this Vedic knowledge into the heart of Brahmaji. So how is this knowledge coming to us? Krishna imparted this knowledge to Brahmaji. Brahmaji spoke to Narad. Narad spoke to Vyasadev. Vyasadev spoke to Madhvacharya. And then we have the whole disciplic succession. Srila Prabhupada has mentioned it in the Bhagavad Gita introduction, at the end of the introduction of Bhagavad Gita. And I think other books also he's mentioned it. And that's how we are receiving this perfect knowledge. So although we are not perfect because we are here right now in this material body. But the knowledge that we are receiving, that is perfect because it's spoken by Krishna. Since the Lord is Purnam, all perfect, there is no possibility of his being subjected to the laws of material nature, which he controls. So Krishna, the Supreme Lord is perfect. He's perfect. He cannot make any mistakes. He never makes any mistakes. He's Purnam. He's complete and perfect. So he can never be subject to the illusion. He can never forget himself, his own identity. Never. He's never subject to the laws of birth, death, disease, and old age. However, both the living entities and the inanimate objects are controlled by the laws of nature and ultimately by the Lord's potency. So we, the living entities, and the inanimate objects. So what are the inanimate objects? All that we see. It's made up of earth, water, air, fire, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. So all the, whatever buildings, cars, whatever all the things that we see around us, everything, and we ourselves, the living entity. Our body is also inanimate. Our body is also actually unconscious. The only reason we feel the body is conscious is because the soul is inside the body. As soon as the soul leaves, that's why we call it a dead body. The body is the same. So why do we call it dead? What happened? It's because the soul is there. That's why it has consciousness. Otherwise, this body that we are so attached to, it's nothing but dead matter. Anyway, the material objects and the living entity right now. The living entity is who? We, the soul, right now. Because we are in this material world, we are controlled by the law of the material world, the law of this material nature. And who does this material nature belong to? She belongs to Krishna. So ultimately, it's Krishna's laws. It's the Lord's laws because she is his energy. So Maya Devi, who's she? She's Krishna's energy. So all the laws that are made, they're made, who's the lawmaker? That's Krishna. Okay. So this Isopanishad is part of the Yajurveda, and consequently it contains information concerning the proprietorship of all things existing within the universe. So it's being said that in Yajurveda, this part of Isopanishad is there. And what is it telling us? That the proprietor of everything, the proprietor of everyone is the Supreme Lord. Everything and everyone belongs to Krishna. So as we just said, it's either Krishna or Krsnas. There's nothing else, nothing else. No matter where we go, No matter what we see, it all belongs to Krishna. We living entities also belong to Krishna. So we might say, no, I'm not controlled by the laws of nature. How can we say that? For example, we are living in Taiwan. So we follow the laws of the country. We have to follow the laws if we want to live peacefully. Similarly, we are subject to the laws of this material nature. We like it or no, we are forced to follow the laws. Okay. So the Lord's proprietorship over everything within the universe is confirmed in the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 7, text 4 and 5, where para and apara prakriti are discussed. Okay, so now where again is said that the Lord is the proprietor of everything, also in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says it himself in chapter 7, in text 4 and 5. What is para and apara prakriti? So the elements of nature, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego all belong to the Lord's inferior material energy, apara prakriti. So what is this material world actually made up of? The material world is made up of the material energy and we, the living entities. That's all. And what is this material energy made up of? Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego, our senses. That's all. We are so attracted to this material world. We're so attached to this material world. But what we are attached to is actually only dead matter. We are thinking that this is alive, this is able to give me happiness. That's why, like when we buy things, initially we think, oh, this thing is going to make me very happy, very happy. So we buy something new. We really are very excited about it. We take care of it. We want to see it every day, really excited and caring about it. But after some time, we don't care about it anymore. It could be anything. It could be any material possession we get, maybe some clothes or some jewelry or car or house or anything. Then we feel, oh, it's not giving me that happiness anymore. Why? Because it's just dead matter. Whereas we, the soul, we are conscious. So a dead matter cannot give us happiness to a conscious living being. We are trying to find happiness in the wrong place. So the living being, the organic energy, is the superior energy, para prakriti. So how can we find happiness? Only when we connect ourselves to Krishna. Only then we will find happiness. Nowhere else. Both of these prakritis or energies are emanations from the Lord, and ultimately, He is the controller of everything that exists. So this material energy, the living entities, we are the living entities. We are called the para prakriti or superior energy. The apara prakriti is the material energy, which is comprising of this material world. Everything is belonging to Krishna. It's Krishna's energies. They are the energies of the Lord. And because He is the proprietor of those energies, He is the controller of everything that exists, because everything and everyone belongs to Him. There is nothing in the universe that does not belong to either the para or the apara prakriti. Therefore, everything is the property of the Supreme Being. So whatever we are seeing, it's either material or either it is spiritual. But whatever it is, even if it is material or it is spiritual, it belongs to the Supreme Lord, because they are His energy. The material energy is also Krishna's energy. The spiritual energy is also Krishna's energy. So everything is Krishna's property. Because the Supreme Being, the absolute personality of Godhead, is the complete person. He has complete and perfect intelligence to adjust everything by means of His different potencies. So the Supreme Lord He's complete and perfect. He's complete and perfect. So his intelligence is also complete and perfect. It's not that he is not intelligent. He is completely and perfectly intelligent. And so he knows how to do things. We think, oh no, God does not know. Maybe if you should have done like this, the situation would be better. We think we are more intelligent than God, but that is only our belief. It's not a fact. So the Supreme Lord, because he has complete and perfect intelligence, he knows how to perfectly do things. He knows how to adjust everything. He knows how to use his energies. The Supreme Being is often compared to a fire, and everything organic and inorganic is compared to the heat and light of that fire. So the Supreme Being is compared to a fire. So for example, if there is a fire, and then that's just giving an analogy like that the fire is the Supreme Lord. And what does fire have? It has heat and light. Okay. So it has heat and light. So then the material and spiritual energy is compared to that heat and light of the fire. So fire's energy is heat and light. Similarly, we, the living entities, and the material energy are the energies of the Supreme Lord. There is no meaning to fire if it has no heat and light, right? So they are, because fire is there, it has heat and light. And then when there is heat and light, we can understand there is fire. And that is the relationship between the Lord and us and the material energy. So just as fire distributes energy in the form of heat and light, the Lord displays his energy in different ways. Okay, so the heat and light is the energy of fire. So the Lord also has different energies. He thus remains the ultimate controller, sustainer, and dictator of everything. So everything is being controlled by the Lord. Everything is being maintained by the Lord. He's the possessor of all potencies. So anything that we can imagine, we cannot imagine, belongs to the Supreme Lord. Anything that we know of and that we don't know of, the Supreme Lord knows. And benefactor of everyone. So we might try to do to some and not do good to others. But the Supreme Lord, he does good for everyone, each and everyone. He is full of inconceivable opulence, power, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. So Parasar Muni, he put the meaning of the word God, Bhagwan. Bhagwan means somebody who is the owner of the Bhagya. So Bhagwan, one owner, Bhag, opulence. What are the opulences? Power. Power is an opulence. We get attracted to powerful people. Somebody who is like a lot of power, lot of influence, we are attracted to them. Fame, we are very attracted to famous people. Beauty, we are very attracted to beautiful people. Knowledge, when somebody shows a sign of intelligence, we are like, oh, wow. And renunciation. Well, we are attracted to renunciation also, that somebody is able to renounce everything, not attached. So, but all power, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, all renunciation, they belong to the Supreme Lord. So some of us have some power, some of us are famous, some of us are beautiful, some of us are knowledgeable, some of us are opulent, some of us are renounced, but not all of it. There's somebody always better than us. We might be famous, but there is somebody more famous than us. We might be powerful, there's somebody more powerful. But the Supreme Lord, there is no one who's more richer than him, no one who's more powerful than him, no one who's more famous than him, no one who's more beautiful than him, no one who's more knowledgeable than him, and no one who's more renounced than him. That's the Supreme Lord. So one should therefore be intelligent enough to know that except for the Lord, no one is a proprietor of anything. So it goes to say that everything belongs to the Lord. We think that, yes, this thing belongs to me, that thing belongs to me. But it belongs to us till the time we are in the body. What happens after we give up the body? Oh, it belongs to my children. And after they give up the body, it belongs to my grandchildren. But you're already in another place. And at that time, you have other children and grandchildren. So nothing belongs to any of us. Everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. One should accept only those things that are set aside by the Lord as his quota. And the Lord, he's providing for each and every one. He has made perfect arrangement to maintain everyone. Only that we should take our quota, not be greedy about it. And when we are taking, we should understand this belongs to the Lord. I am receiving it by his mercy. And so we should be grateful for that. For example, if there was no oxygen, how would we be breathing? If there was no sun rising, how would we be able to even function? We would freeze to death. So any little thing, the whole perfect thing about the rains coming, if we wouldn't have rains, if we wouldn't have the seeds to grow the grains, how would we eat? So reading on, the cow, for instance, gives milk, but she does not drink that milk. So the cow, she's always giving milk, but she's not giving milk for herself. She does not drink her milk. What does she do? She eats grass and straw. And who drinks the milk? The human beings. We are drinking the milk. The calf drinks, but not so much. A calf is not given too much milk, otherwise it's not good for them. They are given milk for a certain time, but even after that certain time is finished, the cow continues to give the milk. And that milk is for human beings. Such is the arrangement of the Lord. Thus, we should be satisfied with those things he has kindly set aside for us. And we should always consider to whom those things we possess actually belong. Satisfied. We should be satisfied with what he has given us. Satisfaction is an important quality. And then understanding that these things that I have don't belong to me. It is just for the time being I've been given this by the mercy of the Lord. Take, for example, our dwelling, which is made of earth, wood, stone, iron, cement, and so many other material things. If we think in terms of Sri Isopanishad, we must know that we cannot produce any of these building materials ourselves. Did we produce the earth, the wood, the stone, iron, cement? We say, okay, from the factory I can get. But what about the raw material? Who's making the raw material? Who's making the soil? Who's giving the iron ore? Where is that coming from? So we must know we cannot produce any of these building materials. We can simply bring them together and transform them into different shapes by our labor. So we can collect all these things and make a building out of it. But we cannot say that I created earth. I created water. Who's creating water? Who's creating fire? We can't say I created fire. We can use these things. A laborer cannot claim to be a proprietor of a thing just because he has worked hard to manufacture it. So Prabhupada would give the example that a laborer, he's there in the construction of a building. He's working very hard. He's taking the bricks, putting the cement, layering it, and he's helping to build this full building. And then after the building is built, then he will say, oh, this building belongs to me. The owner of the building is saying, no, the building does not belong to you. I can give you a salary for your work that you have done, but the building does not belong to you. Same. That's what we are thinking. Just because I found something and I used it, I changed it somehow and I used it and I made it into another thing, it belongs to me. We are thinking that. That we are thinking, oh, I found something, so it's mine. Let me see how I can change this, manipulate it, and then it will become mine. We will say, oh, it's coming in the factory. But where is the raw materials coming from in the factory from? Glass, where is the sand coming from? The water, where is that coming from to make the glass? It's coming from the Supreme Lord. In modern society, there's always a great quarrel between the laborers and the capitalists. This quarrel has taken an international shape and the world is in danger. So the capitalists and the laborers, they are saying it belongs to me. They are saying it belongs to me. I put the money in it, so that's mine. And the laborer says, I put the effort, so it's mine. Men face another inenmity and snarl just like cats and dogs. So we are fighting with each other. This, I am right, I'm right. Sri Isopanishad cannot give advice to the cats and dogs, but it can deliver the message of Godhead to man through the bona fide acharyas, holy teachers. So we should behave like human beings. Take advantage of this Vedic scriptures that we have been given. Cats and dogs cannot understand who the food belongs to that they are fighting for. But a human being, we have the intelligence to understand that. The human race should take the Vedic wisdom of Sri Isopanishad and not quarrel over material possessions. So we are hearing from Sri Isopanishad, what is it saying? It does not belong to you, doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the Supreme Lord. We are just given it so that we can maintain ourselves in this life, whatever we have been given. So we should not become too greedy and try to take others' share. One must be satisfied with whatever privileges are given to him by the mercy of the Lord. There can be no peace if the communist or capitalist or any other party claims proprietorship over the resources of nature, which are entirely the property of the Lord. So the capitalists are saying, oh, because I put the money in it, so this thing belongs to me. The laborer is saying, I put the energy, it belongs to me. Nobody's understanding that even if you put the energy in it, or even if you put the money in it, those things already existed. We are just changing the shape of it. We're just changing the shape of the earth, water, air, fire, ether into giving it different shapes. That doesn't mean they belong to us. They all belong to the Supreme Lord. There can be no peace if the communist or capitalist or any other party claims proprietorship over the resources of nature, which are entirely the property of the Lord. So we say this land belongs to me, you can't come here. This land belongs to them, you can't come here. But this land existed before we were born. You know, how does this land belong to us? Everything belongs to the Lord. This only we human beings, we make all this yours and mine. But when we leave the world, it will still remain here and it will continue to belong to the Supreme Lord. The capitalists cannot curb the communists simply by political maneuvering, nor can the communists defeat the capitalists simply by fighting for stolen bread. If they do not recognize the proprietorship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the property they claim to be their own is stolen. So if we say, where do we get our bread from? Oh, I get it from the supermarket. But where does the supermarket get its bread from? Oh, it gets from the factory. How does a factory make the bread? Oh, it gets flour and mixed with water and salt. Oh, where do they get the flour from? Oh, the farmers are growing it. Water, I'm just taking it from the rivers. So where is the flour coming from? Oh, I grew the grains, the grains, that's how I have it. But who made the seed? Who made the seed? It's the Lord who made the seed, who has given us these seeds, who has given us the water. So everything that we are getting is the property of the Lord. And that's the reason we should offer it to the Lord. Even before we eat, we need to offer food to the Lord because it belongs to Him. Consequently, they will be liable to punishment by the laws of nature. Nuclear bombs are in the hands of both communists and capitalists. And if both do not recognize the proprietorship of the Supreme Lord, it is certain that these bombs will ultimately ruin both parties. Thus, in order to save themselves and bring peace to the world, both parties must follow the instructions of Sri Isopanishad. So we are thinking, no, this belongs to me, that belongs to me. And in that we keep on fighting. My religion is better than yours. My faith is better than yours. Like that, we are keeping fighting. But everyone belongs to the Supreme Lord. That's the peace formula. Nothing belongs to us. We all belong to the Supreme Lord. That's the way to be peaceful. In that way, we can be satisfied. And that way, we can become happy. When we become peaceful, then we can be happy. Because we know, oh, it belongs to the Lord. I can just do whatever I can do to maintain myself till the time I'm here in the body. But one day I will have to leave the body and all these things will be remaining behind. And they all belong to the Supreme Lord. So we need to offer our gratitude to the Supreme Lord He's providing us with all this. Instead of offering him gratitude, we fight with each other that this is mine and this is mine. So we'll stop here for today for Sri Isopanishad. There is still a bit of this first mantra, but we can read about it tomorrow. Yeah, there's like 3-4 paragraphs still. So we'll read it tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining in. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shilpa.